Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated conversation with the guy you thought you knew, but you're going to know more, the old coach for the St. Louis Steamers, Dave Clemens, ladies and gentlemen, with his lovely wife from St. Louis, Missouri. Congratulations, Dave, you married up. What's
Yeah, I did.
What's our our wonderful Mrs. from St. Louis? What's her name?
Oh, I'm a Karen.
Oh, well, there you go then. All right then. And so Mark Twain and Northwest High School is well certified along with the Clemens. Mr. and Mrs. Clemens are well certified for sure, man. And they have your daughter lives in St. Louis area.
Yeah, she lives in that funny old place called the Hill.
There you go. Yeah, right down the street from Mickey Gradiola and Yogi Bear or something.
Yeah. Jeff Cacciatore.
Yeah, you go. There you go. Well said, man. When you go down on the hill, they'll remember you. You could use that name. So there you go. I thought I knew a little something about you, but I don't. I didn't. You had quite a career in Northern Ireland, and you might have had, I don't know how far you were with the Troubles, but that might have played on your mind. And then to move fast forward, here you are. You become up with the Wolves, Wolfhampton. You were on Wolfhampton squad.
Yeah, I came out my first club in England after playing as an amateur in the local league in the North Ireland. I went to Wolves at the age of 17, and I didn't make the grade as it turned out. I was there about a year and a half, and they let me go. And when I went back home, it took me about a week and a half before I told my dad. And everybody when I went over was very happy and all excited for me and all that. But it's like if you're trying to get on the Blues or any of the pro hockey teams here, anything like that, it's a big deal, and everybody wants to know what you're doing. Anyway, it took me nearly 2 weeks to tell my dad, but of course I told my mom as soon as I got home. And I'm sure she whispered in his ear, but I sweated it out for a couple of weeks before I gathered the chutzpah to let him know that I let him down, and of course, as soon as I told him, he said, well, his first thoughts were simple. He asked me, can you make it in England? Can you make it over there? I said, well, I'm not like the rest of them. They're all what we call hanky ball men. In the streets of Belfast to be playing with a bunch of rolled up socks or hankies or whatever, night and day. And I said, but I'm not the same as those guys, but I can make it. And he said, well, okay, that's enough of that. Let's go find you another club. Well, that turned out to be simpler than I thought, because a guy called Jimmy Hill, who was the president of the football players union, he'd been watching me for a while, as it turns out, and I signed for them, and I was with them about 7 years.
Wow.
Before moved on to Everton. So
Yeah, yeah. The Coventry City, they came to St. Louis in the
we
late.
played against. I played against Pat McBride.
Yeah, were you on that squad?
Oh yeah, I was
Holy cow, man!
I was playing left half. Um,
Wow, wow.
and of course, you're coming over to America and soccer. Although they've been playing obviously in St. Louis for a lot of years, but most of the other cities it was a fresh sport. So the teams weren't great. But I remember Bill Glazier he was the England under 23 keeper, and he was with us and played for us. And the centre half and me, the left half, we would when St. Louis had got the ball, we'd sort of step a little bit to the side and just look back at Bill and go, Bill, here they come again. But the result didn't matter to us, and people
Yeah,
were enjoying the game and
yeah,
all that stuff. But we wanted to drop one on him and let him earn his money.
man.
So
So, do you take toffee in your tea, or how it? How
I'm a
you?
coffee drinker now.
Yeah, with toffee, but toffee though, Everton toffees.
Oh yeah. No. They were all they'd won the English uh, Cup just before I came to them.
Oh, well, then we'll talk by going over. Went across the English Channel as a youth, and as a young man, you take the trip across the Atlantic and wind up with the New York Cosmos.
Yep.
How was that all going about?
Well, I got the pleasure of meeting and sort of living with almost Pelé, and he's just a gentleman. Obviously he's passed away now, but that was a highlight of my career. Um, you're rubbing shoulders with him, and it was it's hard to describe.
I
But he
bet.
was a good person, deserved the accolades he got, um, and they were very deserving. So uh,
Yeah, cheers to that. So that all happens, and you get a little taste of this and that, and you find the indoor game. Now, did you ever have indoor back as a youth anywhere? You ever?
no, this is indoor for us was an American thing, um, you know, but the crowds, St. Louis was a killer for everybody. The crowds you just to get at the old stadium were phenomenal. And the Wikis did a hell of a job promoting it. Um, everybody in St. Louis was a soccer expert. Everybody, even the babies in the prams. Oh boy!
Well, that's kind of like it spread. It started in Walnut Park, where the lovely Mrs. is from, and then it went from there. But yeah, we know everything about everybody, everything. We
But now be careful. My daughter's a lawyer.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Wonderful. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and their son is a big boy. He
Woo.
he's doing pretty good in the hockey.
All right then. Well, we'll be looking forward to that. Do we want to keep the name withheld, or we want to? So
I don't.
okay,
We've just
right,
heard last
because
week or so.
it
Uh,
isn't Clemens. That's what I was getting at. How
Correct.
do
It's
you
not.
pronounce your name, Dave?
Your Clements is
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Yeah. Or like most of them call me Clemo.
Ah, all right then.
Mhm.
And I I was I did a little research on you, and they said you own an Irish store. How about
Yeah.
that? Can you recommend all of us where we should get our Irish sweaters?
Well, it's unfortunately I've been in the States a long time, and part of my uh, sort of my travels. We live here in Colorado. Uh, we're in the outskirts now, but we lived in up in Georgetown, which is one of the first mountain communities. When you drive up the mountain to go to the ski places,
Wow.
and we opened up a little Irish shop. We thought, mm, I I need to find something. This was Karen, a very thoughtful uh, North St. Louis girl. She said, "You need to get a job." So
Oh yeah. So
I,
you
I,
don't know a fine Irish crystal from a beer mug or something? Huh?
oh, I would know that a little bit, but
Okay.
uh, I yeah. Anyway, I diddled about with a few things back and forward, and I said, look, before we do too much, let's let me go back to England and see if I can get a job back in coaching there or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and so we basically took a year and went back to my hometown in Northern Ireland, and I helped the IFA out coaching a bit, but it was all sort of part-time stuff. And obviously the big money is in England.
Yeah.
Um, so it turned out that I couldn't get any sort of breaks to make it worthwhile to stay in England or Ireland. So we at that point we were living in Georgetown. I'd been living there for a couple of years, and we decided to close the shop up and go and take this effort to get a job in English soccer. Um, and other than being in the coaching line or something like that, um, it wasn't going to happen. So we decided to come back here to the U.S. Our daughter's in school and doing well. Um, you know, so we tucked our tail between our legs and come back to America.
Nice. I To speed up, I went over and I saw when you played, maybe coached at the Colorado Caribous,
Yep.
and we had it, and your friend and you coached him. Greg Murkowski just passed away, and
Oh my goodness, no.
oh, I'm sorry to. I thought you. Yes, he had passed away with illness for several years, and it was a peaceful departure, and
Good.
everybody went and they celebrated him for several days.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, Greg, I'd taken him first in the draft, um, and his I think he was his neighbor. You knew him as well, but I'm forgetting the name right now.
Don
Um,
Don,
anyway,
Don Ebert,
no, I was thinking of the guy, the lawyer who was a
John Newsom,
former player of Steve Frank.
Steve Frank. Wow.
He represented uh, Greg, um, and I'm having to take a breather here because
Yes, I
Greg,
apologize.
Greg no. It's
My condolences.
yes, thank you. But he was a good guy, and he earned his spot. He did. did the job left back, for a team of. They were all rookies. I think we bought one player. The rest of them were all free agents and stuff. Um, but we had some good players. We did all right. The unfortunate thing was the guys who owned the team. Uh, I probably had as much money as they had, so they 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 ran out of money halfway through the season,
Yeah.
and the team was not a. The team was gone, but not actually sold before the season was over. You know,
Yeah.
so it didn't give the players much of a chance. You know, um,
Right.
but that was the stage that you had the Cosmos and tons of money, and I think LA had a bit of money, and there's some of the teams that had a bit of money, but not with what was in their mind or what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. Oh, yeah.
uh, and the players were the ones who suffered for the most part.
Yeah.
But you take a chance and you do the best you can, and you know
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes you're fortunate and sometimes you're not.
Here you go. But you can always have that memory of those uniforms. I mean, the Colorado had the most unique soccer uniforms I think anybody ever
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah. That was our PR guy. He
Oh,
was on a horse. Yeah, that, he was just he'd never seen a game before. He I don't know where he got the idea. Well,
I think it was
even
some.
even even the name of the team, the Colorado Caribous.
Yeah.
When I got here, I said, "What about the Caribous?" And one of the guys goes, "There's never been caribous in Colorado." You know, they just got a photograph.
Oh.
So,
Yeah. It
I
would be
tell you,
like, having elephant ears on a Thailand team from a
yeah.
team from Thailand, what he had going on. Oh, man.
So our PR guy will go. The players are running out for their first game,
Yeah.
right? Mile High Stadium.
Okay.
We had about 25,000 or so people. That was pretty good for.
Yeah.
So this guy's the PR guy's wife was into ballet,
Oh,
and as the players are running out, he's there, doing the rah rah thing, and he said, he in ballet they say break a leg when you're going on stage,
yeah. Yeah.
and I'm standing a few yards away, and this guy goes, break a leg, John, break a leg, Bill. I go, what the, you know. I, I'm a mild sort of guy, but I was near enough whacking him.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
Woo.
I should have known that. I should have turned in my notice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, what a story.
Oh,
Well, you've given me a lot to think, and I feel as if I need to depart a little bit. Can you? There's a custom here at St. Louis, is to say, or for Wales certified, is to say, Dave, whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for. This is your opportunity.
oh, you're putting me on the spot, aren't you?
Oh, well, you were able
No.
to handle it.
Oh, I know. So my wife comes from St. Louis, and she's one of how many sisters?
The Pointer Sisters?
Well, there's more of her sisters than the Pointers. Um, so you got to understand, this is four St. Louis families, and they're all uh, genuine St. Louisans. Uh, they've got some big boys in there. one of them's a lineman. That's not a linesman. It's a lineman up on the poles.
You know it.
So
I know it.
they're not shy. So I'm going to plead the fifth and not say I'm bad about St. Louis. Because I got to go see him next week.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
But I appreciate talking with you. And give me a buzz sometime over the Mother's Day weekend, and we'll have a beer.
All right then. And the story goes is that I just feel the need to say it on the behalf of our condolences. I about Greg. I thought you might have known. Or I'm so sorry. So sorry how that roughed
But
up. But yeah, yeah.
I know.
And I mean to tell you, this is like home week, man. Your missus with their in Walnut Park on the Harney Avenue. Uh, what part of Harney were you brought up at?
Between Kings Highway and Euclid.
Oh my God, you're. I mean, when you talking Mark Twain, you're like you could walk to
Yeah.
school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. That and very few people know that Harney Avenue goes all the way up there, and goes all the way down to Goodfellow, and
Yeah.
so yeah. Wow. So one of the streets of St. Louis, Harney Avenue, and that's how I got to school. I used to have to walk 9 blocks to school, and that Harney Avenue. Oh man, I'm
You know,
almost there.
when you're a young girl dating and a guy wants to know your address, it wasn't always a good thing to live on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I kind of found out that the general, some army officer, Harney, that was named after, he wasn't a
Right.
very nice guy neither.
Right.
But man, how great this is! I tell you, one of the most informed and entertaining episodes. This is like 304, so this is one of the best. And you two are whale certified, and the whole clan is well certified. The St. Louis, so everybody in St. Louis with the Clemens family and outreach, they're all well certified.
Wonderful.
Appreciate it.
All right then. So happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you.
All right then. And,
So if something triggers your brain and you want to chat a bit more or ask me a couple of questions, you can give me a call that next weekend.
all right then. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Dave. All right.
Pleasure.
Well, bye bye.
Take care.
All right now. Great.